Hi, everybody. Hope everybody can hear me. We're going to wait 2 more minutes to see anyone else join, and then we're going to get started because we have quite a few things that we like to cover today.
How long is this meeting? Would it be exactly an hour?
Yes, it will be an hour.
I won't be able to stay the whole time. I'm actually working in multiple programs today, so I only have 30 minutes.
That's not a problem at all. We can record everything and share all the resources with you as well.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
No problem. Hello, everyone. We're going to get started. My name is Tanya, and you probably have received a lot of emails from me. And I also have Jessica Matthews, my coworkers, with me as well. So we just wanted to host a welcome session to get everybody acquainted with each other and some expectations about this grant and things to accept moving forward. I know many of you are in the love programming. We might have to run because summer programs is starting very soon. That's not a problem at all. We'll be recording all this session. I will be sharing with you the recording as well the slides and any other resources we talk about. So this is the agenda for today's call. We will cover most of it, so it's a kind of a packed day. And in the end, if there's time, we can more than welcome to introduce each other. Jess, do you want to add anything before we get started?
No, I think we're good to kind of dig in. I know it's a lot of housekeeping today, so we will send the recording after as well. If there's any other questions, just let us know. But well, let's get started.
All right. So who is Taking It Global? Many of you may have heard of before. I've been working with us for several years, and many of you don't know us at all. That's not a problem. Taking It Global and Adobe have been partners over 10 years. We have been working very closely with them through the Adobe Youth Voices program. And when Project 24 started, the Adobe team primarily worked directly with the organization leads, and whereas Taking It Global, we work more with the community leaders, the young community leaders. So we work with around 16 kids from 10 different countries to give them feedback on the platform. And for the last 2 years, we've been administrating the Adobe Creative Grant. So that's a bit about Adobe's and Taking It Global partnership. And if you guys have any more questions in the end about about this partnership, we're more than happy to answer. So with the Taking It Global team, so this team is primarily led by the 4 of us. At some point, you probably would have talked with us. That's me, Tanya. Then we also have Jay Baker. She does behind the scenes, a lot of one-on-one support for the organization. And then we have Jessica. She primarily is the Adobe Creative Cloud Donation Program. So if you're not set up or if you need to get renewed, she's the primary person to talk to. And lastly, we have Tanisha. She is our tech wizard. So if you have any problem with installing those softwares, which I understand is very complicated, She'll be more than happy to hop on a call and give you step-by-step instructions to get you started. All right, diving right into the reporting expectation, because I'm pretty sure that's on your mind. So if you still haven't signed the MOU and completed the wire transfer form, please give it to us as soon as possible, just because we want to make sure that you guys get the funds and there's no delay on starting the program. And if you already done it, thank you. We are working with the bookkeeper very closely to make sure you get the funds as soon as possible as well. We would like to schedule one-on-one call with all of you just to see where you guys are. I know programming looks very different this time, especially things going on with COVID and having the social distancing guidelines in place, also shelter-in-place guidelines as well. So we just want to make sure that you guys feel supported. There's a link on your welcome package. We sent in the link as well. So we are doing calls between July 16 to July 17. So pick a time that works for you and your team. These calls are usually half an hour long, but if you need to take more time because you have more questions, we're more than happy to extend it. Those of you would like to use our funds to purchase hardware, we are more than happy to support that. Just request that is that it used to be 30 days, but now we understand with delays with shipping and you want to make sure you get the right equipment that is needed for right now. So we just request that you send in your proof of purchase in 90 days of receiving the funds. Just to add a point with that, you can use up to 50% of the grant funding, so 5,000 USD, to buy any hardware that you might need. And we do have two reporting. One is a midterm call, which is a quick check-in call to make sure everything is great. And if anyone needs support that we can help you, it's a call. There's no written portion to it, but we'll love to see pictures of any media created by the young people just for so we can put it on our social media. And of course, the last is a final report and a financial report. Do you have anything you want to add, Jessica, before we go to the next one?
Yes, just quickly, with the midterm report check-in, it's pretty informal. As Tanya mentioned, we just really want to kind of see how you're doing halfway through your project. If we have some questions, we'll send those before the call ahead of time so you can kind of prepare, but there's nothing that will be written. We might take some notes during the call, but it's really just to make sure that you feel supported as you're kind of into that second phase of completing your project.
All right, so the hardware purchase rate, the new range, once the global pandemic started, we kind of touched base as a team because many of the organization hardware and access to internet has been the biggest challenge for the young people to connect and continue the creativity. So we kind of have a new range anywhere between 30 to 50%, which is 3,000 to 5,000. You can also allocate funds from this range to support with internet and data bill, which many organization is doing as well. You don't have to include your Adobe Creative Cloud software purchase in it because you will be getting that as well as a part of this grant program. And if you are rethinking and want to actually purchase hardware using this grant, please let us know. We're just going to make a little change in the MOU and you will be good to go. As for the hardware, if you're buying things, we do require a receipt to show that you have purchased it. So that is the hardware proof of purchase report. Anything you want to add, Jeff? I see you shaking that. Okay. All right. And up to you, Jessica.
Okay, so the Creative Cloud donation program. So as Tanya mentioned with the hardware, any type of Adobe software, we won't be able to use your grant funds for that because we do have software that we do donate. So it's our shared device licenses. I believe everyone that's on the call today should either have had licenses in the past, so I've just renewed you, your licenses are coming up for renewal, or I'm actually just getting you set up with these licenses. So just to kind of a recap, you can have up to 50 shared device licenses, and it's good for a 12-month term. And so with the renewals and things like that, I do keep track. I do send reminders. Adobe also sends emails directly if you have an account reminding you, hey, your licenses need to be renewed. So if I haven't gotten to you already about that, I will touch base and kind of get you set up. But I won't spend too much time on this. If you do have any further questions, I am the one that kind of processes all the admin side, so I put your license orders in, I kind of keep track of everything that goes on. I'm not as savvy on the tech side of things, so the installation can be a bit tricky, especially in terms of hardware and kind of our remote situations at the moment. So if you are having any issues with installation of your licenses or have any questions around hardware needs and things like that, I can connect you with Tanisha. I believe next week she will be on vacation from July 1st to the 6th. And I also believe Adobe is going to be, they're actually going to be closed all of next week. So we have our national holiday here in Canada on July 1st. And then I know in the States on July 3rd, that's also vacation day. It's a holiday day because July 4th is on the Saturday. And so they do tend to shut down in the summer times for a couple weeks here and there. So it might take a little bit longer to process licenses if I haven't gotten you set up just yet, but usually once I put orders in, they're quite quick, and after July 6th, everyone should be good to go with their licenses. Are there any questions regarding these?
Hi, this is Celia from Urgent Inc. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Yes, I submitted the request in the Google form. So I guess right now I'm just waiting to hear back from Tanisha. Is that what I should expect?
So I'm actually going to get your account set up today. So with the Creative Cloud, I have to get everyone's account set up, and then I'll email you after we're done our session today, and I'll kind of get you set in that motion, because you have to accept the VIP invitation. And then once you have your account, I can put your license order in. It might not get processed today. So like I mentioned, just because Adobe, we just found out they're closed next week, it might take to July 6th. And if there's any tech issues, I'll have to kind of set up a time because Tanisha will be off as well. But
okay. All right, thank you.
No problem. And then we had a quick question from Johanna. So if our hardware needs have changed since our original budget was submitted, do we need to resubmit our budget if the hardware costs are less than 50% of the grant amount? We will say yes. So any budget updates that you do, things do change as programming comes and things like that. If you wanted to just let us know briefly, there is the final financial report at the very end where we do ask for an overview of exactly how your funds were spent, kind of at the end of the project. If it's less than 50, it shouldn't be an issue, but if you could just send us a quick email update, that would be appreciated.
Jess, do you want to touch base on the mobile device, Creative Cloud?
Oh, yes. Sorry about that. So one thing with the Creative Cloud, we've experienced with our other grant recipients in cohorts 1 and 2, but also just within the network as a whole. Hardware, as Tanya mentioned, the reason why we've actually allocated more funds for you guys to use, it's been a big barrier with the pandemic and essentially everyone staying home. So access to hardware has been really difficult, and then the internet and data is like the next level of not always being able to actually use the hardware that you have access to. So with these particular shared device licenses, they do require minimum operating systems. So you do have to have slightly newer devices to be able to install the licenses. In a lot of cases, it's not always accessible per se. So there are mobile apps that you can download for free, or your youth can download on their phones. I do believe not all features are readily available with the mobile apps, but if they don't have access to a desktop or a laptop that they're able to download a shared device license, a lot of organizations have been using mobile device apps where the youth can download them on their smartphones. Everything from Adobe Premiere Rush, which is the mobile version friendly of Premiere Pro, which you would use on a laptop or desktop for video editing, to Lightroom. Most apps are available online and they don't cost anything.
Is there any more question about the mobile or Creative Cloud in general before we move on?
Quick follow-up to that, Jessica. I just want to make sure I understand. Did you say that Rush was available on phone?
It should be. I believe
Okay.
I did a little check on, so I have Creative Cloud on my laptop myself, and it does tell you what apps are available on the mobile, and I do believe even going on my phone that Rush is something that you can download, because I know it's a very popular tool, especially for film editing.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem. Yes. So another thing I should have mentioned, with the Creative Cloud, you do actually have access to all of the apps. And the most wonderful thing about these licenses is that they're customizable. So when you install a license on a device, you can customize the package and what it looks like. So you can download all of the apps, which does take a lot of memory, or for if you have certain programming and you're only focusing on certain editing tools, you can customize and download 1 to 5 or just one of the apps and send those packages out. So InDesign and Illustrator are some of the most common ones, and they are included. Okay. Any other questions? All right, if you do, please feel free to email me. I know the process can be quite a bit kind of moving forward, and there's quite a few steps, and you'll get emails from me and some directly from Adobe. So please don't hesitate if any questions or concerns arise, especially around tech. Tanisha's fantastic and really great at troubleshooting.
All right, so moving on, media guidelines. If you like to mention in your social medias that if you receive this grant, you're more than happy to. We will be sending over the Taking Global and Adobe logo, and the face that Adobe has requested to us is with support form. Then you can put the logos or the mention by name. Also, please take some time to review the Adobe and Taking Global logo usage and media guideline policies. If you don't have you shouldn't have access to this yet. We'll definitely follow up with those following this call. On Instagram and Twitter, please do tag us, Adobe, at Adobe and at Adobe Taking Global. And if you or if young people are posting something that is part of this project, please use the hashtag TakeCreates. So we'll be following up with all this information. Don't worry about if you can't keep up with the notes, and if you forget, we understand it's a lot to remember. All right, so we have a couple of ways that we are asking the cohort, I guess, each grantees to take part. Our main primary goal is to create like a network that you also supported, not just from us, but also with each other. There might be questions that you have that we may not know the answer to, but your peers might, and it's working very well for cohort 1 and cohort 2. So first, we had this private space called the Learning Circle. This is has been created before the global pandemic started, but however, we completely understand that we might have screen fatigue because spending so much time on screen just talking to our peers and colleagues and doing our projects. So this platform is still there. It's not as active as we have hoped to because a lot of time we are just connecting virtually to video conferencing, but if you're more than welcome to use this space, ask questions, share anything that you might want to share. There's details on how you can access on the welcome page. Jess, do you want to add anything about the Learning Circle? Okay. All right. All right, moving on. Over the last couple of months, we have been working very closely with all organizations to share their transition process into virtual programming, and they have been sharing tips and resources for their peers. And what we are doing is compiling them and sharing them with the group as well. So you will be following up with all the tips and resources they have shared following this call. You can easily find them. They're on our website. So if you go on the website under resources, you can see not only just the resources, but also any reporting that you might have to do. All the links are very easily accessible. Did I miss anything? Or
no, so we will follow up with reminders for reporting and things like that, and we'll send links in those emails as well. But if you'd like to take a look ahead of time, with the Creative Cloud donation program, there are 2 reports. We've kept them short and sweet. I know reporting, it's a lot to ask when you guys are doing such incredible hands-on work with your youth. So essentially with the Creative Cloud, it's just a few questions to see what programs you're using licenses with. We like to see pictures of the youth using them. I know at this point it may be not so much that because we're not in our hubs, but also any media pieces that you've created using the software. Adobe really loves to kind of see how it's being utilized and the support that it's providing as a tool in your programming. And for the Adobe project grant, under that tab there, you will find the hardware proof of purchase report if you are purchasing hardware. I believe we've also linked it in the welcome package just to make it as accessible. And as Tanya mentioned, we do keep updating the resources with some infographics and things that we've been collecting with data across our cohorts, just to make sure that you guys are feeling supported during this time as we've really transitioned to virtual programming.
Yeah, and one of the primary things that Adobe likes to see for the reporting is the number of views directly reached. So yeah, so that's one thing we ask you to please to keep track. If you can give us demographic details, that'll be greatly appreciated as well. And there's a question. Yes, you can definitely have more than one user per organization in the learning circle. If you would like, that's not a problem at all. Moving on, and there are some amazing COVID resources that Adobe has created. Jess, I'll let you explain this as well.
Yes. So the other thing we've done, you'll notice on our website, we do have a specific page for COVID-19 and resources that Adobe has specifically kind of put out and produced to really support not just, the people who use our licenses, but mainly the organizations like yourselves. So we have the Resource Hub. This is a page where it kind of brings you to all of the resources that Adobe has kind of created. I will direct you more towards maybe the Creative Cloud student tutorials. So the really nice thing about these licenses is that Adobe's already created a lot of tutorials on like basics for learning how to look into them, but also for if you're at that kind of expert level use. So these are mini videos you could share with your youth if they have access to these licenses outside of programming, if they kind of want to learn a little bit deeper. And it's a good way to encourage them to kind of dive in a little bit outside of your regular programming. And then the distance learning resources. So this is more for educators. So for those who are putting programming together, I highly recommend just kind of taking a look. Adobe is doing some great stuff under, I would say, like kind of keeping everyone connected while we're safe at home.
All right. Taking it global, we also have been trying to create as many resources to support with the young people's learning as much as possible. So on our YouTube channel, you find mini instructional videos on certain topics. If you have a certain topic that you really want or your kids really want to learn about, let us know. We'll try our best to find a speaker for that. We also have brought back some old instructional videos that we did last year. We also have this great app called Create to Learn app. It wasn't designed for this program specifically. It was designed for northern Indigenous communities in Canada. So they have really little access to the internet and bandwidth, and it's a creative app. So they have instructional videos on Photoshop, filmmaking, how to use drones. And one great thing about this app is that all the videos are bite-sized, so very, very small, not longer than 5 minutes long, and you can download them. So we'll be sharing that as well. So feel free to pass it along in your team and young people. They might be interested in seeing what is there. All right. We'll like to connect with you at every 6 weeks or so, just to create the sense of community among each other. So these are the dates we have tentatively scheduled for this cohort. All the days are on a Friday. Of course, if a certain day doesn't work, that's not a problem. We can come back as a team to see what works best for everybody. We understand people who are joining this call you guys are the organization leaders, are very busy, but if you have somebody else from your organization who you think might be better suited for this call, a lot of organizations have the program coordinators or the program lead joining it. They're more than welcome too. So the next one will be on August 21st, which is, I know many of you are doing summer programming, might be towards the end of your programming, and the October-November one might be after your programming is done, but we would love for you to continue this engagement if you are still available. Jess, do you want to add anything to this webinars?
Yeah, so the reason why we've kind of scheduled these 4 particular partner engagement webinars with our previous 2 cohorts, as Tanya mentioned, we really love the opportunity for peer-to-peer learning as organizations. So a lot of you are doing very similar work, but also very different. And in that sense, you're also kind of experiencing a lot of the same things. And so it's an opportunity for you guys to kind of share, highlights and challenges, and also to kind of gather some support from peers who are doing similar work, in a sense that maybe there's something you haven't tried yet or you'd like to implement with your programming that another organization has done. So we really wanted to create that space. As Tanya mentioned, if you're not able to join, you won't be penalized. We love the opportunity to connect. These sessions will be the same length as this one today. They're roughly about an hour. And again, if there's another team member who would love to join on behalf of your organization, or who's working directly in that particular project you've proposed, we're more than happy. Just let us know and we'll include them in all the invitations.
All right. Peer resources. As a result for checking with the cohort 1 and cohort 2, we were able to create 2 peer resources, which we'll be sharing with you. The first one was the best practices that many of them has set for making virtual programs has been successful to them, and the recommendation as they planned and implemented what changes or what things they would like to see in their programming. Okay, so who are all these organizations that we keep talking about from cohort 1 and cohort 2? So as you can see, we have 25 organizations, and we are a pretty global set of creative youth organizations from around the world. We have people from the UK, Greece, India, Sri Lanka, Australia, New Zealand, Brazil, Haiti, Mexico. There are several people from the United States. And then we have actually one from Canada this time besides us. So for cohort 1, these are the fellow grantees. Another is from Brazil, Steve Stevens from Australia, Shilpa Sayur Foundation from Sri Lanka, Youth Arts Exchange is from California, Global Girl Media, that's the Greece chapter, Marlon is from UK, Free Spirit Media is from Chicago. There's one missing, just you kidding.
Yes, give me 1 second.
So we will be passing on what each of these organizations are doing, and so you have an idea of their project. If you'd like to reach out to any of them, you're more than welcome to. You don't have to wait for us to make the introduction. A lot of them already has been talking with each other for either having conversation among their youth or starting new projects. Sorry, Jess.
It's Inuans theatrical musical in Mexico.
All right. Not sure how that logo wasn't there. For cohort 2, we have Dream Yard. They are located in New York. First Exposure, they are in San Francisco. Little Globe is in New Mexico. Media Arts Center is in San Diego, sorry. OE is Honduras. Dennis Arts is in Venice, California. Women's Voices Now, they're in Los Angeles, and Zeal is in New Zealand. And you're wondering who is in cohort 3? Here are your cohort 3 grantees. We are hoping it took a lot faster than we expected. If you don't mind taking the mic, introducing us, where you are joining from, and a little snippet, like an elevator pitch of your project. So here, I know you have to run, so do you want to go first?
Hi, this is Celia Nelson from Urgent Inc. We're in Miami, Florida, and our grant project is called Film Arts Culture Entrepreneurship, which stands for FACE. We're running a media digital arts internship over the summer, helping to elevate the voices of our young people using social media, video, and podcasting.
Thank you, Celia. I think you guys are one of the first organizations we worked from Florida. We never had any organizations from there.
Yay!
Yeah, excited to get excited to get have the state. So, anybody else would like to go next?
I'll go next. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay. So also I have Charlen's Calixte also in this meeting too. He is one of our our coordinators in Haiti. So my name is Jamie Aquino. I'm the president founder of Haiti Ocean Project. We are a nonprofit organization in a small fishing village in Haiti called Petite Rivière des Nippes. Our focus is marine conservation, protecting the endangered marine life of Haiti, and educating the youth of Haiti about their ocean. And the focus of our project with Adobe will be to create a mini documentary with the youth voice telling their story about how they're saving endangered sharks, endangered sea turtles, and focusing on the ocean, the marine mammals. So it's basically their story of how they are saving their ocean and the resources they're using to do it. So that's it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing, Jamie. Okay, who would like to go next?
I can go next.
Wonderful.
If everybody can hear me. Yeah. So my name is Guillermina Zabala. I'm the director of the Media Arts program at SACI. And Missy is also here joining us. She's the development manager. SACI is based in San Antonio, Texas. And our project is a multidisciplinary platform where youth voices will be expressed through video, podcast, graphic design, spoken word. It's going to be very interdisciplinary, and the theme, it's about the youth voices through quarantine and what it really meant for them this time. So we kind of already started working on it, but once we start implementing the grant money, it will really be developed bigger as an interactive platform, online platform.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. I know it's a very timely topic that we're all kind of currently experiencing, and I think as we know, we move through summer months here in North America. It's definitely going to be something that's kind of at the forefront for a little while now. So thank you so much for sharing. Does anyone like to go next?
I'll go. I'm Johanna Wickland. I am with the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Green Bay, and I'm following up SACI because Guillermina and Missy, our youth arts initiative at the Boys and Girls Club was actually started after the Wallace Foundation did some extensive research, and SACI was one of those arts organizations that really was the model for the youth arts initiative. So shout out to SACI, and because of pioneers like your organization, Boys and Girls Clubs are now implementing high quality arts, and this TIG and Adobe funding is going to specifically support our creative crew teen video production program that will be focusing on some racial justice movements in our local community, as well as health equity and how the pandemic is affecting different populations differently. So we're really excited to have this opportunity and be part of this amazing cohort.
That's incredible to already kind of see that network connection. The one beautiful thing that Tanya and I have noticed over kind of onboarding all of these 3 cohorts is that there's already kind of a mini network within the network. A lot of organizations have worked with each other in the past, and it's just really beautiful to see that growth and development, and to kind of see how it just keeps reaching wider and wider, and the influence that you guys have on one another. And then can you just remind everyone where you're located, please?
Absolutely. We're in Wisconsin, in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Just want to add also Green Bay, Wisconsin is one of the newer states we're working with. Like Jess and I have, we try to get as many states possible. All right. Thank you for sharing. Who would like to go next?
I can go next.
Hey.
Hey, my name is Lucia Torres. I'm with I'm with Las Fotos Project. We are a mentoring organization in Los Angeles. We work with teenage girls of color and use photography as a mentorship tool to do that. So the Adobe Project Grant is actually going to be supporting 3 of our core programs, Esta Soy Yo, which is a self-empowerment and a wellness photography program where girls explore their voice through photography in order to raise their self-esteem and also tell their story as young women of color in Los Angeles. It's also going to support our Digital Promotoras program, which is our digital advocacy program. And through this program, our girls use photography as a way to advocate for the communities. They document stories of our community members and local leaders. Right now during COVID, they won't be going out and doing the on-the-ground documentation, but they'll be doing some things closer to home, around their home, and also documenting essentially how COVID has impacted their families economically and just, through their mental health and things like that. And it'll also be supporting our CEO program, which is Creative Entrepreneurship Opportunities. It is a workforce development program for young photographers who want to learn how to be creative entrepreneurs and make their way into the creative economy. And so this actually pairs our young photographers with professional photographers for on-the-job experience. They get paid to be professional photographers. And so this is actually going to be a really innovative year for us because we're doing everything virtually. So we'll be doing virtual mentoring and providing our girls with tools to be able to create at-home studios so they can do product photography in the home and learn how to kind of tap into that e-commerce that is now on the rise because of COVID. So thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. I know it's definitely a transition. Everyone's still kind of navigating it, and there's definitely going to be things that kind of pop up. Virtual program delivery is very, very different. All of your organizations have such incredible hubs, and I know it's taken a lot of work to really make that move to be able to still connect and provide creative education, kind of in our new normal in terms of, safer health regulations and the pandemic. So it's really exciting to hear how everyone's really transitioned. And I know we still have quite a few organizations to introduce themselves, but it's very exciting for Tanya and I. And we've shared also with our other cohorts, you guys as well, but just the diversity and projects that have been proposed over this grant period. It's just really incredible to see the innovative kind of program development that's really been going on. So thank you. Who would like to go next?
I can go next.
Perfect.
You can see me, but my name is Celeste. I'm parcel from Jayu. I also have Andrea Rodriguez on the call as well from our organization. We share human rights stories through the arts, and specifically with our youth programming, we empower marginalized youth to build their voices and share human rights stories through various mediums, very similar to all of the work that everyone is also doing, which is actually really exciting to hear because that we're all doing similar work, because that the community for this type of work is actually like expanding and growing and exists for all the youth. So yeah, I'm really excited to hear about the projects and connect in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Jayu is our Canadian organization. They're actually very close, located to Taking It Global in Toronto. So it's kind of exciting for us, expanding a little bit more into Canada. So thank you so much for sharing. Okay, who would like to go next?
I can go.
Perfect.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brittany with Girls Voices, and we work collaboratively with grassroots organizations in over 25 countries to help create transformational experiences and unlocking girls' creative potential through videography and photography. And then after they go through those workshops, they then receive scholarships to pursue their education. The way we worked pre-COVID was through workshops where facilitators would lead people through these workshops. And now we've created this online course for facilitators to be trained there and then lead students, and students can take their course through our online platform now, thanks to COVID. So yeah, with this grant, we hope to support 4 of our core partners in different regions to create in-depth storytelling about how COVID has affected them and also about equity, around the world.
Thank you so much for sharing, Brittany. Yeah, it's very exciting just to kind of see. The one thing we've definitely noticed, not just within this grant, but other programming and hearing from other organizations, is the networking and the reach of the work is probably one of the silver linings of this pandemic. It's definitely actually brought people a lot closer and realizing that we're more similar than we think we are. And there's a lot that we have in common, and people are doing such incredible work. And so that network really has kind of gotten stronger through it. So thank you.
Definitely.
Okay, I think we just have a few organizations left. So I'm going to open up the mic if you haven't gone yet, if you'd like to go ahead.
Hi, am I in?
Yes.
Hi, okay, hi. I can't see myself, though, I wasn't sure. I'm Maiko Tanaka. I'm the Executive Director of Squeaky Wheel Film and Media Arts Center. We're based in Buffalo, New York. Our programs, basically we provide exhibition opportunities, equipment access, and education opportunities for independent media makers, media artists, and filmmakers in Western New York and beyond. And a huge component of our programs are our youth programs. And what Adobe TIG has funded is a development of actually what we did, how we had to change our plans from the last grant, which was moving from a public event in a park, a public projection project, into a virtual exhibition space in response to COVID-19. And so what our students did an incredible job reorienting and adapting and making work about that experience. And then we had this big opening exhibition where people could attend. So responding to what you're saying about the expanded network, that was something that was really profoundly exciting about what this could be. So the development now is, since they had a chance to kind of like make their work in exhibition space, like a public space, now they're going to be working on being the architects of a studio space in that environment. And so developing what they learned in Mozilla Hubs, we're going to be working with the Mozilla Hub and then the Spoke aspect of Mozilla Hub and Spoke, which is where you can, it's a VR space and you can develop work. So it's going to be like having classes there, conversations, guest artists, and again, we are able to expand the reach. So international artists working in virtual environments will be, guest instructors and mentors. And it's also peer-to-peer learning environment, so they could work on collaboration and things like that. And I guess, another thing is that we're able to invite students beyond Western New York. So there's going to be like a call for a certain number that can participate. So that's also really big that we're really excited about, some changes. So yeah, that's all. Thank you.
No, thank you so much for sharing. Tanya and I had the pleasure of actually getting to experience their first exhibit. I will say I'm not overly tech savvy, and it was very interesting to navigate VR on the computer, but I'm really intrigued to see how it's kind of grow and develop, and definitely spaces like that are becoming more commonplace and a really unique way to connect. So we really look forward to seeing how that your project progresses. Okay.
Thank you.
So we have one more, we technically have two more organizations. One of them weren't able to join us today. So Millie, I'm going to ask if you don't mind sharing a little bit about you guys, and then I'll share about the last organization.
Okay, right. Thanks so much, Jessica. I'm from Prayasan, and we are based in Kolkata, India. And the project which we will be running with TIG at a grant that's called Period, and that basically focuses on the menstrual health and hygiene, and mainly about the menstrual education, because that has been something which the organization has worked based on the researches which we have done. And mainly in this project, it will be all online, which is something which is very new in the sense that this time all the sessions and in fact the entire filmmaking will be happening through online. So, and that will also involve the community, not just the youth, but also the community adults. So transitioning the community adults into entirely on online is something which I think will be a very interesting learning for the organization.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing, Millie. It's great to hear that there's going to be community involvement. I think a lot of you here today, it's not just the youth that you're working with, it's their larger communities, and just kind of seeing how everything kind of intersects and really is supporting one another during this time. So it's kind of great to see that that ripple effect starts with the youth, and it's kind of going out into the community.
Yes, absolutely.
Wonderful. So we do have one more organization. Story Center wasn't able to join us today. Again, as Tanya mentioned, we know a lot of you, especially with Cohort 3, the way that we've kind of planned deadlines is that a lot of summer programming, very intensive over the next 2 months is kind of happening, and that's part of why they're not here today. But Story Center is actually also located in Florida, so we're very excited to have 2 organizations. They are doing a collaborative project. They're working with another organization who works specifically with youth in kind of the foster care system. And they're going to be focusing on storytelling through photo voice and audio digital storytelling. So it's definitely a new medium for us. And it's really exciting to kind of see the group of youth that they will be working with and having them tell their own stories about their experiences. So hopefully in our coming partner engagements, they'll be able to join us and you guys can hear a little bit more about the project that they're doing.
All right, so that is bringing us close to our welcome session. We understand there was a lot of housekeeping items that was shared for this one. We promise you that once nothing be like that. There'll be more engagement. We're going to hear from you a lot more. So if you still haven't, please send the MOU and send us the form as soon as possible. If you need more time, do let us know. And we understand many of you might have taken some time off next week. So if you need more time to go to have that signed from the executive directors, please do let us know. Just want to add something which I forgot to mention in the beginning was that we understand some of your projects are going into 2021, but our request is that you utilize all the Adobe Creativity project, Adobe project grants by end of this year, because we can't accept any project extension at this moment. If you still haven't, some of you have done, please schedule one-on-one call with us between July 6th to July 17th. If those time frames don't work, again, let us know. We are flexible. We can definitely find a time that works. Those calls shouldn't take more than 30 minutes, but if we need to talk a little more because we had more questions or you need more support resources, we're more than happy to have it more longer if needed. And Creative Cloud, as just mentioned, Adobe is technically shut down next week, but if you do need support, do let us know, and we will make sure that you and the young people are set up with the Creative Cloud as soon as possible. And thank you for sharing the resource, Kevin. We will send it out with the email as well. So thank you for taking the time on a Friday for joining with us. We will be following up with everything that was shared, the recording, the slides, the resources that was mentioned, anything that was mentioned in the chat as well. Do email us at youthmedia at any time you need more support. We're more than happy to hop on a call. Any last words, Jess, before we sign off?
Yes, we just also want to encourage if, you know, something resonated with you today, anyone on the call, I believe everyone should have everyone's email, so you don't have to go through us. If you'd like to connect with another organization directly, either for, you know, peer-to-peer support, to maybe connect your youth in some sessions, or if you just have questions about kind of teaching artists or just anything in general, we just want to encourage that you guys connect with one another and that it doesn't have to go through us, okay? All right, and I think that's kind of it on my side. So yeah, we're done a little early, which is kind of nice. I know what Tanya mentioned, it's a lot. We will send the recording. We've tried to make everything comprehensive. I know sometimes it's easier to hear than to read in the welcome package. So yeah, we will, when we send the follow-up email, we'll make sure that everyone isn't BCC'd. Now that we've all met, we'll make sure everyone has access to everyone's email, and then you can forward any messages that way.
All right, thank you, and we'll be connecting soon.
All right, enjoy the rest of your Friday, everyone.
Bye, thank you.
Hey, Tanya.
Yes.
I have a quick question before I go, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, this is Jamie. So if we're I can't even talk right now. I'm tongue-tied. If we're ordering our technology online, so like through Amazon or, you know, a website, so then, you know how we don't have a physical, like you go into a store and you have a physical receipt, the online email receipt, like basically, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, that works.
As long as any proof of purchase, because with Amazon you'll get like an order confirmation. It shows everything. Is that
Yeah, that's
sufficient?
Yeah, that's
Okay, great. Okay, thank you. I just wanted to check with you. Okay.
No problem.
Have a good day.
Good day.
Bye.
Bye.
I forgot also, ladies.
Yes.
I know we'll be distributing the licenses soon. They will go from a full year, right? Like they'll continue through January, all the way.
Yes. So I should have mentioned the 12-month term doesn't start when you get your account. It only starts, so I can get you set up and have the account ready, but it only starts when you actually have access to your license. So once you get your confirmation email from Adobe, once you actually have access to install the license, it'll say, you'll notice on your account when you go into your admin console, it'll say anniversary date, and then it'll be 12 months from then.
So that could be different per organization. That's correct. Like say we did it on a rolling basis.
Yes. Yeah.
Once they
so
have access. Okay.
Exactly. So as you kind of provide me with that information for accounts,
got it.
We'll be able to kind of set the licenses up. So a lot of times I can get an account set up and organizations ready, but if they're not ready for their licenses, I don't have to put that order through, but it just means, and it means that your 12 months hasn't started yet.
Okay.
So we've been kind of doing that with COVID a little bit too, because a lot of organizations have needed time to transition to online.
Yeah.
So we've been trying to kind of protect that 12 months. Yeah.
Got it. I should have asked earlier. I just forgot.
No, it's all good. Sometimes
really
I forget. There's a lot of knowledge for Creative Cloud. There's a lot of moving pieces. So.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Not a problem.
Okay. Take care.
Bye now.